There's one rule. Don't use your workplace email for slander.
Yeah.
And don't use my computer for Halloween costumes.
Hey guys, welcome back to Rough Draft Research, RDR Dynasty Fantasy Football Podcast. We are here. I am AJ. We got Christian. We got Daniel. We are talking football, Week 6 preview. So we've all kind of picked out our own matches, and so you'll see a pattern with that because we have our homer teams plus our other favorite teams that roster a lot of our fantasy talent, so we like to stay on top of that. So you guys want to start with a little news, John Gruden news? I think we got to kick it over to Christian because he's such a fan. So Christian, are you a little disappointed? And
I mean, I'm disappointed. I don't know. You never want to see somebody go out like that, being a piece of shit and getting caught. I mean, you want to see those people leave.
You'd rather his own professional failures.
Yeah, I'd rather him just suck at his job and get fired, because then I could be on a pedestal or like be on my high horse, I guess.
Right.
But I mean, this is just what you got to do. You can't have these attitudes wandering around anymore, jokes or not. And he was dumb enough to get caught using it. Emailing somebody that was, setting him up for failure, emailing him from the team workplace account, but you got to be smarter than that if you're going to try to pass off these kinds of things as jokes. And I don't know, he's out. Yeah. I don't see the Raiders changing that much, though. It seems like the coaching staff that Gruden likes to bring in kind of are all disciples and kind of follow the mentality that he would. I don't mean that this guy's going to be a piece of shit. I mean, like, the football mentality of how they
Thanks for clarifying.
Hey, it's 50-50, right?
Yeah, he could be a piece of shit. I don't know.
I hear that new coach doesn't even know how to use his email. But
That's smart. That's smart. Still using voice
you can't get caught if you don't ever email.
I deleted all my accounts already, just prematurely, just get it out.
Just post your messages on lockerroomtalk.com. Untraceable, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope that's not a real website.
Yeah, it is, but you have to pay for a subscription.
Okay. Yeah. It's and a VPN. It's untraceable. What else we got? Obviously.
Well, sorry, I was going to say it is huge, though, because you think about this guy. He's 20 plus years been a massive figure in the NFL. This isn't just some random coach. 2002, he wins the Super Bowl. He's like the hot shot coach. And then Monday Night Football. And now he comes back with that contract. And this dude just gone.
Oh, dude, not to mention
crazy.
Just off of Hard Knocks, too. Or was that last year?
Last year's
Hard Knocks. So
I don't watch Hard Knocks.
It was great. Mike Glennon was on the team at the time. It's pretty awesome.
Tight.
Yeah. But I guess in other news, it's just, we'll go through the injuries kind of when we go through our previews, I think. But, big news, Russell Wilson officially on the IR.
Yeah, man.
So he's out at least 3. Lionheart, hashtag.
Right.
Hey, go look up the tweet, man. The guy's got a Lionheart.
Hey, man, he's definitely got an unnecessary wheelchair. We know that about him.
His fingers fucked up so bad he can't walk.
It is the straw, man. Give me the full on. I don't even need to raise my pulse by taking a step,
He's got the Lionheart, but where's the courage,
I like that.
I like that one.
He's not to the end of the yellow brick road quite yet.
Not quite.
Although pretty long stretch of him not being hurt, though, to be fair. That's tough playing, but yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I guess.
It's just I've always found him to be
a little over dramatic.
Yeah, and just kind of like obnoxious, I guess. Like
That's a good
his
one.
persona, especially the fact that people think that it's like 100% genuine a lot of times is what gets me too.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he's putting on an act. It's fine. They all do it. And it's just, I don't know. I just find him to be a lot sometimes. Like he's a great person by all accounts. Don't get it twisted. I don't think that side of it's fake. Like all the charity work he does, and it's just I don't know. Well, I mean, we all know
Amazon stock for his linemen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think I want to ask him, if I had a chance to ask Russell one question, I would be like, does this mean like your potential forget football and playing baseball career is out now? Because that's your throwing hand, right?
Yeah.
You can play the MLB now. So I know you had one foot out that door the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Russell
Not anymore.
Wilson.
You're fucked now.
All I'm going to
Came
say
and
is
walked.
if you're going to be a humble guy, you go out and marry Sarah. It's like a real humble move. So,
For sure.
it's definitely.
My
Hey,
goodness.
Seattle, we got a deal.
We got a
Go Seahawks! Yeah.
It's for the look. I don't light it. It's like, oh, jeez.
Everybody
That
wants
video
to
is the epitome of how I feel about Russell.
Oh, definitely, dude. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go to Twitter and look up the video of him
When he got
his
his new contract. Yeah.
lay in his bed with a selfie and him and his wife. But I don't know any other real big news that I
don't know. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's on IR.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nick
The
Chubb now.
NFL said out of all the other 650,000 emails that none of them were bad, and we all believe it.
Oh, shit.
Well, that was just such a well-run organization over there in Washington, and
John
Oh, my
Gruden was just
God.
emailing himself,
yeah,
and no one was responding to his racist and homophobic and misogynistic speech.
I mean, honestly, he was probably a little drunk. You can't get in trouble for that, right?
Oh, what is
Right,
it?
yeah.
What's the Ambien? He took an Ambien.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, was that Roseanne or whatever?
Roseanne
think
Barr,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Took an Ambien. I didn't know I was going to say all this racist shit.
I didn't know my true colors were going to just shine right through. That's weird. I was wearing a parka, I would hold it in. Oh, jeez.
Damn. Well, shit. Let's just dive on into it then. The Week 6 preview. I was just gonna mention it is the first week of buys. So we got Atlanta, New York Jets, San Francisco 49ers, and the New Orleans Saints all on bye. So basically,
My whole team.
I was gonna say, as long as you don't have Kamara, Debo Samuels, and Cordero Patterson, you're probably okay this week.
Yeah. I only have Ridley, Kamara, Trey Sermon.
Oh.
That's the one week that Trey Sermon can't let me down, though. He's going to do exactly what I expect out of him.
Oh man, that's so sweet.
So, thanks, Trey.
I guess, I don't really have an order specified here. I think we can just kind of round robin this. I guess, Daniel, you want to start her off?
Sure. All right, I'm going to start off with the Dallas-New England game. And I'm pretty excited about this because Dallas has been pretty exciting to watch. If you guys believe me or not, they are 5 yards away from leading the whole NFL in yardage behind Baltimore. So that's pretty exciting when they're putting a team on blast in the New England Patriots that are fifth fewest yards allowed. So it's kind of a clash, like a powerhouse offense versus a pretty serviceable defense. And then if you flip it around, Dallas has given up the 25th most yards, and then New England's putting up the 26th most in offense. So it's like, the complementary roles we're going to see probably more out of New England and less out of Dallas, maybe.
Yeah.
But, it is a New England team that allowed Houston to put up 22 points last week. So we'll just go see what happens. But I'm actually really excited. I don't know what's going on with Dallas, but they were 2 points away from being undefeated, really. And that was against Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay team. So
Yeah.
they're kind of on fire. And let us not forget, you must love Trayvon Diggs' chances of getting another pick this week.
Yep. The new symbol ML and then in parentheses TD.
I like must love Diggs, and then there's just like a parentheses S, like all them Diggs.
All them Diggs.
So,
Not to mention, man, he's got another brother cornerback at UAB right now. So look out for that, man.
I like that, man. Yeah, it's like the Fullers all over again. So it's pretty cool, though. As you guys may or may not know, Dallas has given up a ton of air yards in these shootouts. I'm sure you guys know that.
Oh,
but they're actually. It looks like they're 5th in ground yards allowed. So I don't know. I think we're going to see not so much rushing at Damien Harris or whatever's going on in the backfield in New England, but I do think we're going to see a lot of action at your boy Hunter Henry and Jacoby Myers.
I got him on full throttle in one league, man.
Hell yeah!
Not even in a flex, man. He's in the receiver
Oh my
slot.
goodness!
That's how much I believe.
You here now? You made it. AJ's roster. Prepare to be part of an L.
Yeah, well, 0-5 right now, man. So sad.
No offense. I'm sorry. But I do think Mac Jones gets a chance to kind of unlock a little bit, I know they've been playing pretty conservative with him, but I think he's got a chance to be a baller this week. So, what can you say? We know Dallas, right? They got the always questionable Ezekiel Elliott. He's the RB5 so far, and then it looks like Amari Cooper's finally full bill of health. So that's a little weird for him. He's the wide receiver 15, and we all know CeeDee Lamb is kicking ass too. But the weird thing with those guys is that they both have at least 2 single-digit point totals so far this year out of 5 weeks. That's 40% disappointing. So look out for that. Dalton Schultz, on the other hand, has gotten at least 6 catches and 4 out of 5 games. So I'm looking for Dalton Schultz to he's stepping it up. I think he's a tight end 4 right now. So I'm pretty excited about that ass. But I don't know. What do you guys got? Anything throw in on that?
I think
I'm with you on the. Go ahead.
No, go. Go for it, man.
I'm with you on the Patriots probably being able to throw the ball and make the game exciting, but I think you look at the Patriots, and their defense has been good, not fantastic. And you said they were 5th in yards allowed. They've also played the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Texans,
and the
Tampa
Bay
and the Saints and the Bucks for sure. Those are the 2 decent offenses. But when you get the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Texans, kind of skews those numbers just a bit, and I don't think they've seen anything. I think the Cowboys offense is better than the Bucks offense, and so I think it's gonna be fun to watch, but I don't think the Patriots really have a shot in this game. I think the Cowboys are just gonna run away, and it's gonna be the Patriots trying to keep up.
Yeah,
which is great for fantasy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say.
Well, I think
Jacoby the scapegoat. Let's go.
It's gonna be great for Mac Jones too, because it takes the pressure of trying to manage a victory on the back of a low-scoring game away, and kind of gives them a chance to get
just
a little YOLO.
Yeah.
So, but I'm with you. Obviously, this early in the season, looking at performance scale is going to be skewed just by easy schedules coming out. So, and being in that division, good luck when the Bills come to town. But
Yeah.
not that I know anything about that.
Well, fuck yeah, man. Well, I think you pretty much nailed it. We'll head over to you, Christian. You want to pick your first matchup?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get this one out of the way. We'll do Green Bay and Chicago. Shocker, I know. I think on the Green Bay side of the ball, we know what's going to happen. Aaron Jones is going to get his. Devontae Adams is uncoverable, and he's going to feast. And Rodgers is going to do his thing. So it's really the most of the intrigue here is on the Bears side, and then the matchup of the offensive line of the Packers versus the defensive line of the Bears, which would be the only way that they have a chance of stopping the Green Bay offense. We get Josh Myers back this week. Elton Jenkins is a game time decision. Listen to this. This is crazy. The Bears are 28th in pressure rate, so
Jesus.
they don't pressure the quarterback very much at all. But they're leading the league in sacks. So
Really?
It's like when they pressure somebody, they fucking get home and take them down. But they just don't pressure them. Like, that's a crazy rate to think about. They have 18 sacks this year already, which is crazy. And so this is where the rub comes, is they can't get pressure, and Rodgers has only been sacked 10 times in 5 games. But his passer rating in a clean pocket this year is 122.6, and when he's under pressure, it's 31.
Oof.
So that's the interesting matchup here. They're going to have to do more. They're going to have to get pressure because Rodgers is going to try to get out of sacks if he can. He's going to pick the defense apart. So if they can't pressure him, which has his in the pocket pressure game has not been that good this year, so they need to do that, and they're not good at that, but they're good at getting sacks. So it's like this interesting balance that has to be struck for the Bears to try and come out and affect the Green Bay offense. And I don't know, it'll be interesting, especially with Jenkins and Myers maybe coming back,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And they may not have Akeem Hicks, one of their best defensive linemen.
Yeah, that'd be a huge issue.
Yeah,
so what?
I
guess I haven't seen a lot of Chicago games, but they're just not consistently successful.
Yeah, exactly. They're just not getting to the rusher. Like, they're not causing a ton of disruption, but it's like one of them just pops off and just sacks him, and then they'll go like 5 plays without doing anything. It's super weird.
Huh.
I was gonna say, if Hicks misses, man, that rushing game goes up tremendously. That guy.
Oh yeah, he's a beast.
He's a monster.
Bowling ball down there.
And Khalil Mack played through an injury last week, but was injured all week this week as well. So
torn labrum, I assume.
Yeah, I don't know. But so then we go to the other side, and here's a game where Justin Fields may be able to kind of get his groove going. Because, again, he's going to be just like Joe Burrow last week. It's going to be a weakened secondary. Jair's still not back. Kevin King's not playing this week. He's already been ruled out. And he's average at best when he does play. But despite of that, the Packers are still allowing the 11th fewest points to fantasy wide receivers. And so that doesn't really make sense to me. I guess they're playing above what we think they are. And Damian Williams may not play because he got COVID. Yeah, and nobody knows. Yeah, and so we don't know if he's going to be playing. So then you're throwing Khalil Herbert in there with, which is tight. We're fans of him on the podcast and everything, but you're throwing a rookie running back in there, and then I don't know. It's an interesting game. It's going to be one of those weird ones in Chicago. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Yep. Well, not to mention a division game too. So, that's a whole new factor in itself.
Don't forget Matt Nagy's emails are next.
No, man, he made them all disappear with his magic.
Oh, man, I think if Khalil Herbert can get a bell cow roll, man, he's going to pop off and do some shit. I mean, I'm excited. I personally, I'm very excited about this game. So I know you are too. You're probably flying out to Chicago, right?
I wish. That'd be tight. I've still never made it to Chicago for a game.
Yeah,
dude.
I think WEFTech is up there.
I better get there before they build that new stadium or whatever.
Fuck, they're moving.
Yep. That should be a lot of fun too. I know. I think you mentioned, but Zadarius Smith not playing too with the cornerbacks out. This might be like if Allen Robinson can't make something happen this week.
Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, dude.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. We've seen how vulnerable the Bears' offensive line is. I mean, against the Browns, they got absolutely destroyed. But we have to take advantage of that. And without Zadarius Smith, I mean, we kind of got a few sacks on Joey Burrow last week, who has a similarly bad line. But still, I mean, Fields could go off in this game. It could happen.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it.
Freaking Jamar Chase didn't have no troubles. That was insane.
Anything else on this one, boys?
Cole Kmet is going to have a breakout game. obviously. Calling it.
Keep hoping.
Breakout for him is 3 catches for 18 yards. So.
Well, I am going to take my next game, and we'll just keep it in the north. Another big shocker. I'm going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. I want to shout out to the New Jersey on the wall. The Otto, Justin Jefferson, looking sexy as fuck back there.
Got a birthday boy.
You know, I'm probably going to spend a little less.
Birthday present on a birthday gift for
Yeah,
my
boy.
birthday.
In your birthday suit. I was going to maybe stay away from the Vikings as much as talk about this Carolina defense, man. And, I mean, Stephon Gilmore coming to town. Everyone's stoked. But I do want to say, like, also similarly to the Patriots, but even more so, that this defense is way inflated. So, you know, we're talking like the number one defense against the pass. But we're also talking week 1 playing Zach Wilson in his first NFL game. We're talking week 2 with that absolutely like shit fest from the New Orleans Saints, where, you know, Jameis Winston puts up the 111 yards and like, I mean, I don't even know what happened to that. Kamara only goes 8 attempts, 5 yards. Week 3, they play Davis Mills in his first ever NFL start. And then week 4, you know, they play the Dallas Cowboys, who they ran the ball all over him. Zeke ran for 142 yards on 20 carries. So Dak only throws for 188 yards, but 4 touchdowns. And then Tony Pollard adds on 67 yards. So that's just over 200 yards allowed on the running back side. So it's like these guys haven't really had to throw on them. So if you're looking at these stats on papers, I don't think this Carolina defense is as good as it looks. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think that rushing defense is as good. So I think it's a Dalvin Cook finally off the injury report, full steam ahead. And I mean, the Vikings, I'm just saying look out for a boring game because that's what this game's going to be. CMC's out, and that was kind of their shot. That's where Minnesota suffers a lot, is that receiving running back. And they're going to put pressure. I mean, Michael Pierce isn't going to play, a little shorthanded, so I think this is just going to be the Vikings playing that old-fashioned football, giving the ball to Dalvin Cook 30, 35 times, and it's not going to be very exciting. So if you guys have watched the Vikings game all year, that's what you're going to get, and unless, you know, Sammy D kind of shows out a little bit, but I don't really think that's going to be the case. But yeah, I'd say just it's the Vikings are what they are. You know, Jefferson's going to get his. Thielen's either going to have 2 touchdowns or
2 catches.
2 catches. And we'll see. But what do you guys think about all this over this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Carolina is still heating up, man.
We'll see, man. I mean, if they're going to keep heating up, this is the team to beat.
I can say with like 85% certainty that this is going to come down to a last-minute field goal.
100%. The curse is lifted, by the way, if anyone watched the Detroit game. All it took was a team that fucking was the worst in the NFL for Kurt to finally put together a 37-second drive into a field goal. Fucking, I'm happy as hell, man. I know everyone does the whole we didn't deserve to win that. Fuck all that, man. It was nice to fucking see that happen from Kirk Cousins, because that has never happened.
I thought he was going to punch them, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That got nuts.
There was a lot of sexual tension in that chest bump there at the end of the game.
That was. Did you see that, Christian?
Oh, him getting super excited? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude. I shouldn't have read the comments, but I'm so glad I did. Like, they posted that on Instagram, and it was just like, you guys shouldn't be proud. You know? I was just like, as a Minnesota fan, fuck, man. I'm happy, man.
Good.
Because we'll see. That's why I think this will be a true test for Carolina, because though the Vikings are 2-3, they're one fumble, one
We're talking about the Chiefs?
field goal.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're 2 plays away from being 4-1, so they're not a horrible team. So it should be fun to see if Carolina is heating up, in fact, or not, because they just lost to the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. So.
That's true.
I mean, I'm with you that their defensive numbers are skewed quite a bit, but I think it's still a good unit. And, I mean, flag plant time. Minnesota has given up the 12th most points to fantasy running backs. Last week, Chuba Hubbard broke 100 yards for the first time in his career. Also had 5 catches for 33 yards. So they are using him as that receiving threat now. It just took him a week. And I'm calling it now. Chuba Hubbard gets his first touchdown in the NFL this week.
I would believe that.
Because they need him to. And Sam Darnold just needs to stop fucking running the ball in and taking his touchdowns away. I think Chuba could have a good game, man. He looked really good last week.
Yeah, he was really good. Yeah. I mean, I just about guarantee he's about to get his first touchdown. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
How can he not?
Eh?
Yeah.
I'll throw money on that. Let's go, DraftKings.
It's definitely the first.
Where's that shit at?
It's the matchup to do it, like I said, too, because the Vikings aren't going to jump on you and air the ball out and score a bunch of points where you got to play catch up. Like,
it's ground pound game, huh?
Yeah, ground and pound.
Nice.
Kind of like Zimmer and Kirk Cousins after that field goal.
Yeah. It's a grinder situation.
Shit, that's all I got on it. Hopefully we get a dub out there in Minnesota. So let's send it back over to you, Daniel, for your next matchup, bro.
Okay, I guess we're just doing home teams out the gate. So I fucked that up. But I'll do the Washington football team and the Kansas City Chieftains. Am I reading this right? Chefs.
The Kansas City football team.
Oh, the Kansas City. Yeah. Offense only. But so I'm pretty excited about this game, right? Because got a couple of 2 and 3 teams made the playoff runs last year, both ended by Tampa Bay, both wishing it was still last year because they've been disappointing their fans and everyone who loves them so far. But, after a slow start for our guy Antonio Gibson, he's starting to heat up, and he's picking up a lot of steam. He's currently the RB13 in the PPR world, and I'm pretty sure he's about to get boosted into the RB1 conversation because he's gonna go ahead and mess up this Kansas City defense.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, they're allowing the 4th most rushing and receiving and 2nd most offensive total yards of any team. Yes. So Washington isn't really breaking any records so far, but they're about to definitely pad their stats, if you know what I'm saying. And that brings me to my shirt. It is a jersey. It is cloth and mostly polyester, tight knit. Terry McLaurin is questionable for this game, but he's not going to be questionable when Sunday comes around. He's bounced back and forth between 10 and 30 fantasy points, and he's coming off of a 10-point game. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get that 30. So I think Terry McLaurin to the moon, all the way to the moon. Is Curtis Samuel still banged up?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a real thing. Obviously, I had some of my Logan Thomas tears in a vial next to my bed. Because I wake up in cold sweats crying about that. But it's all right. They put it together. Anyway, so I'm just saying that old Dan Sorensen has been looking a little shitty, and he's going to be looking even shittier after this week because Heineke is doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. Didn't do well last week. Reflected on my dynasty team.
Yeah. Well, he's, I think, the QB 14.
Well, that's your fault for starting Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, dude.
It was him or Zach Wilson, so you do the math.
I just think this is an opportunity for him to vault himself into the QB1 realm too, because he's right on the cusp. So, but if you're talking about shitty defenses, we have to talk about how Washington has been disappointing. They're not living up to expectations. They're not living up to where they left off last year. They're at the sixth most total yards allowed. So, fuck, like you're playing Kansas City, man. Like you better strap up.
Yeah,
like something's about to pop off, and it's gonna be the scoreboard. They're not used to putting triple-digit numbers up there, but this might be one of those games. We know
we're on this game
for sure. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on IR. I don't know where you guys are at on this. Damian Williams has been looking like a Tony Pollard clone, getting a lot of touches, looking good. I think he's earned a good role, but I really do think that old Jet McKinnon's just going to take off. And so I think it's be more of a committee.
That for fucking 5 years.
Hey, man, he's finally
finally
there.
Time.
Him and Cordero were working out together in the offseason. I wish I could back that up.
Slowest countdown for a rocket ship ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10,000. 9,999. We'll get there. Don't worry, guys. Take a break. Have lunch. Anyway, I do think that Josh Gordon was out there for more plays than I thought he would be.
And looks huge.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was like, is that a tight end? No, that's just Josh Gordon. He looked like he belonged on an NFL field. And
that's how you know he's off the drugs. He put on and gained all that weight.
Oh, that was the munchies, bro.
Oh, shit.
They
Never mind.
They just got that magic test now. Anyway, no, Josh, stay clean. Stay on the field, man. You're in KC now. We need you. But I think he's going to go off a little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this is going to be a pretty crazy game. Kansas City is obviously out to prove something, and they're not going to do it on the defensive side of the ball, which will allow Washington to kind of continue being pretty badass. Like, this is supposed to be a defensive team that has a pretty solid offense, even considering their starting quarterback didn't make it through the first week. You know what I mean? So, free agent wide receiver not really playing, and Curtis Samuel, and they're finding a way to make it look good.
Don't forget Ricky, Kiss from a Rose.
Sills
Jones. Yeah, Seal, Kiss from a Rose.
Well, this is a revenge game for him because he was on the Chiefs for like his half a season. So,
oh yeah,
what up? The
revenge game.
I hate it. Like every game's a revenge game. So let's just start calling them football games, right?
Yeah.
So you got a team named after the sport, and then it's an eerily similar named team of their old name. So here we go. Well, you got it.
Yeah, we missed Indigenous Peoples Day by
for sure. They should have done this on Monday night. It's Columbus Day, and it would have been perfect.
Oh my god!
Really missed an opportunity.
Sorry,
there,
I don't. That was right off the top, and that was perfect. Oh well, next time. But yeah, that's all I got to say about this shit. I mean, the Bills came into town and slapped him around. My grandma's telling me. I said, "Grandma, what's up? Did you watch the Chiefs game?" And she says to me, "I'm a Ravens fan." And I said, "Excuse me, what?" And she says, "Oh yeah, Lamar's my quarterback. That's a football player." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, I went to bed at halftime because the Chiefs were getting their butts whooped, but I stayed up through overtime to watch Lamar take that game and win it." She's like, "He needs to be an MVP." And I'm like, "He's been an MVP, Grandma. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, you never heard Lamar's name until now?" Anyway, so my grandma is Team Lamar, so some shit is getting weird in my life. Shit. Anyway.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head with everything, though. Super high scoring game here, presumably. And, I mean, nobody's going to stop any of the superstars that you would have from any of these teams. So start everybody. Just do it. Like,
yeah.
But
still gonna be fun. It's still gonna be a fun game.
Well,
it's gonna be a good game.
Unless you like defensive quality.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's head on to Christian for that next matchup.
Well, I mean, we can just clip what I just said about the Chiefs football team game and just start it off the same, because there's going to be a shit ton of points in this game too. So I'm going Chargers at Ravens. Speaking of Lamar.
Oh, my grandma will be watching that.
And I mean, this is a weird matchup as far as weaknesses on defense. The Chargers are 32nd in rush yards allowed on defense, which, that kind of lines up well for what the Ravens like to do. Although Lamar did have a crazy passing night on Monday, but I still think they kind of want to stick to that role. The Ravens are 29th in pass yards allowed on defense, which is exactly what the Chargers want to do. So I don't think you've got like when they always say the like immovable object versus the unstoppable force. This is two versions of like the very extremely movable object against the unstoppable force.
It's like a speeding bullet chasing a comet.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And so I think everyone's just going to go off here. I mean, one huge thing is Mike Williams has not practiced all week, and that would be a massive blow to the Chargers. His season has been ridiculous.
Well,
he's their leader in touchdowns.
Oh, I traded Josh Palmer, so I'm expecting big things from him this week.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, that would be great for the RDR podcast for sure. But Mike Williams is out. He's their leader in touchdowns. He's in 3 in front of Austin Eckler. He has 6. Eckler has 3 receiving touchdowns. Everybody else on that offense has 1. And so he's definitely their red zone weapon. And then he's also their leader in yards right now. So if he's not playing, that is going to be huge. But, I mean, so much for what I said last week about Cleveland that they may be able to slow Justin Herbert down because the dude's he's just fucking awesome. And so I don't think it matters at this point. He's in that tier to me that it just doesn't matter now. Like he proved it last week, a defense that was playing well, maybe could have stopped him, kind of lined up exactly opposite of what he liked to do, and he still crushed him anyway. So they're going to go off, and then the Ravens are going to do Ravens things, Yeah. So the Ravens are going to fuck up this Chargers defense, but the Chargers are pretty good against the pass. I think they're 7th in passing yards allowed. And so the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. They're going to run it down their throat until the Chargers can stop them. And Lamar proved last week that doesn't matter all the time.
Yeah.
So bet the over on this game. That's not betting advice, but it is. Yeah. So do that and start all of your fantasy assets in this game as well. Back-to-back games for us.
The bad boys for life, man. It can't be stopped now. I mean, I don't know what happens if Rashad gets out there, though, man. Could be the next, boom, like you didn't even know.
Yeah, that is true.
The fourth dimension is time.
Yeah,
it is about time.
Yeah, it'll be super exciting to see him out there.
Dude, how awesome would that be? Like Josh Palmer and Rashad Bateman both go off. Like that's like RDR cream dream right there.
For sure. I'm pretty sure Mike Williams will find a way to be on the field, though, man.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's like, I just don't need to practice. Did you say I put up 165 yards last week? Keenan.
Talking about practice, man.
Yeah.
I've been practicing for 4 years.
Yeah.
Now it's my time.
Game.
Trying to get that money.
Damn.
Yeah.
He is having a hell of a contract year. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm glad. I mean, they probably kind of kicked around not picking up that 5th year.
Yeah, they probably did.
So that was a pretty smart move.
Franchise tag next year. Let's go.
Yeah, it might be something. I mean, shit. I mean, I don't know the money situation. I only deal in fantasies, not reality. But you got to think a guy like that probably wants to stick where he's at. But, they say that all the time. You can't get in the mind of, this is what they do for work. Yeah, so they got to look out for their careers.
I'd want to be part of the new Chiefs as well,
Oh, really? I heard it gets pretty cold in Buffalo in the wintertime.
Oh, shit. All right.
Oh, come on now. Chiefs have never had a defense like that.
Oh. Damn.
Man.
Well, they will soon.
All right. We got anything else on that game?
No. I didn't think so.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins has got a thigh injury, so what up?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
the Lizard King.
Rashad the God time. Like,
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
So
I need to win.
I think I'm going to talk New York Giants, Los Angeles Rams. I think the biggest news here is Kadarius Toney, probably the number one waiver pickup, I would imagine, aside from maybe Darrell Williams.
Yeah. He's got to throw a hell of a haymaker.
Yeah. So that's the story here. You know, he goes from week 2 being a healthy scratch to week 3 with 3 targets, week 4 with 9 targets, and then of course the week 5, 10 for 13, 189 yards, and then gets ejected in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left.
Yeah. And he caught a pass and then punched the guy like, I got a first down. And I'm still going to punch you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Not like, why not just be a little cocky, like just throw the tomahawk first down signal out or something. But, you know, there is something to be said about this, too. Like, it didn't necessarily come out of nowhere. Kenny Golladay missing time. Darius Slayton missing time. Sterling Shepard missing time. So, technically, the wide receiver 4. So, going into this game, Kenny Golladay is out. So, he will not be playing. It looks like Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard are both going to be playing for this game.
Woo!
Nice.
But
Shepherd fan club.
Well, also not to mention Saquon's not playing, so pick up your Devontae Bookers. I think it'll be interesting to see how this play calling goes. I don't think necessarily Slayton and Shepard coming back hurts Kadarius Toney. If not, I think it might make it a little better because they've seen what he could do. So he's got to be part of the game script. So it just makes the defense not focus so much on Kadarius. So Yak Master, you know, he used to be a quarterback too, so that helps him with vision on the field.
Dan loves that.
Yeah,
Listen, it's true for Kenny Gainwell.
Oh, my bad. But I just think it'll be interesting to see who Jalen Ramsey is going to be covering. But I honestly think this breakout game just helps this entire team because that just frees up more areas for Daniel Jones to throw the ball.
Is he progressing in the concussion protocol?
Yeah, it looks like he's practicing today,
play.
so he's playing.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think it's also worth mentioning, I don't expect anything. I think it's going to be the Devontae Booker show, but like, I don't know, for the sake of looking at a rookie, maybe seeing some Gary Brightwell from Arizona. Big guy. So I think he's like 6 foot, 215. So, I mean, that's NFL size. I don't know what his 40 or burst score was. I didn't look that up.
I think he had a good burst score, and his 40 score was like a 4.55 or something.
I'm sorry, you cut out when you said the name. Who we talking about?
Gary Brightwell.
Gary Brightwell.
So I think it's worth, you know, he was in the 6th round, so not expecting much, but, you know, it's always here at RDR. We love our rookies, so we always love keeping an eye out for the next best thing. So maybe tune into that game and look him up, see how he looks, see if he passes that eye test. But, I mean, as far as LA goes, New York allowing the 6th most rushing yards. So if you're starting Darrell Henderson, if you weren't already, which you probably were.
Sometimes you lose a game because you don't.
Yeah. And then the wide receiver carousel over there, you're looking at Cooper Kupp,
Don't even say his
Robert Woods, Van
and
Jefferson,
Deshaun Jackson.
Sean Jackson. I think it's nice to finally see Kupp and Robert Woods finally get in the respect. I feel like people have been touting these guys as top 10 receivers, and all it took was bringing in a real quarterback, it seems.
It was good for Robert Woods to get some targets.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's got the 2nd most targets on the team easy. He just wasn't doing much with them.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Yeah.
Fuck a football.
But I did want to mention, if you're trying to look ahead of the game, the upcoming schedule for the Los Angeles Rams, man. New York Giants this week, then it goes Detroit, Houston, Tennessee. So you're starting those guys and you're expecting a lot, at least from Cooper Kupp, the most consistent receiver besides Mike Williams on the field in the NFL. But also they end up playing Week 12 Green Bay, which we already kind of talked about that banged up defense. We'll see if it, you know, if they can recoup by then. But then Week 13 the Jags, and then Minnesota in Week 16, and then their respective divisions. So I think it's safe to say the Rams are going to be making the playoffs and doing big offensive things and defensive things. So I just expect points, and that's all I got to say.
That's a good point.
Real quick, Gary Brightwell, 4.67 40.
Okay, there you go.
First score of 43rd percentile. So
the opposite of what I
so he's doing Ramondre Stevenson things.
Yeah, he's only 40 pounds lighter, though.
Hey, man, he lost weight. He cut weight.
I know. Ramondre's fighting weight is 225. I know it.
Yeah, man. And then goes home and eats and runs at 265. You know what I mean?
Straight bloated.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I did see. What did you guys think? I thought that Tutu Atwell had that pretty critical fumble early in the game.
Yeah.
I think that's going to affect his
he
on-field
weighs as much
percentage.
as the ball. It's not hard to separate him from it.
Yeah.
You didn't see that? He fumbled it because he caught it, and then the ball carried him like 5 yards.
Yeah. He's actually on IR because he caught a pass that was thrown too fast and dislocated his shoulder. For sure. Yeah. I do think that it's going to affect his play time. I kind of, it's kind of a no-nonsense setup over there with Mr. McVay.
Yeah, third least penalties, at least on the defensive side, man. That's a very well-run ball club.
Yeah. Well, you got Aaron Donald. I don't think you want to get on the wrong side of that, dude. He seems like he's got a calm demeanor, but it's just the mustache. No, I'm just sorry. Anyway, when you're good, you don't want to be the one that fucks up. When you're shitty, you can have penalties all day. Are we talking about the Raiders right now?
Hashtag Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah, I got the Leatherwood update coming.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry, you got something to say about what? So did Michelle?
Not specifically this game. I mean, the Rams are going to walk all over the Giants. This one's not going to be close. But as a general fantasy advice, stop worrying about fab. I fucked myself over twice this week in our Superflex league by worrying about how much fab I was going to spend for trying to make sure I go to the end. And I lowered my bids on Devontae Booker and Geno Smith. I had Russell Wilson, so I kind of needed Geno. And ended up losing both of them because I overthought of it. So
yeah, man,
just don't do that. That's just general advice. Stop worrying about fab. You'll figure it out. Throw 153 on Devontae Booker. Who cares?
Yeah,
man.
Get that 1 week Booker.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you're me, you need somebody.
I hear that.
Well,
yeah, this is a lesson I learned back in the Philip Lindsay days, man.
Yeah, man.
My shit is like I always don't buy in. Like I'm like, yeah, let people waste their money on whoever it is.
Yeah.
Don't James Robinson yourself.
Oh yeah, dude.
I feel like my worst trait is knowing, like, sleeping on people I should pick up, and then like overpay for people who I should like. I just have a healthy skepticism that just fucks me so hard. But anyway,
yeah, man, that's I don't know if you know this, Christian. The James Robinson story is I picked him up for 11 fab after watching some highlights of him in a training camp. So this is when he was like running back 4 in the squad or 5. Leonard Fournette on the team. Picked him up. Nobody touched him. I don't know why I spent 11 fab. Could have just picked him up. But like I overthought it because I watched it, and it was one of those things where I watched it, and then Sleeper gave like an update, like James Robinson looking good this week. So I thought maybe everyone saw what I saw, but of course no one gave a shit. And then had dinner with old Daniel here, and he made a comment like, "I know who you should drop for." I think who did I pick up? It was Shady McCoy.
Yeah.
And then, so when it came time, like I dropped him, and then 2 weeks later, Fournette gets released, and then the other 2 guys come down with COVID. All of a sudden, James Robinson starting fucking running back, and I have too much pride to spend more fab on him. And then here I am. I'm like, no, I'm not going to fucking do it because they're going to spend 20. So the next thing you know, I'm spending 35 in fab, and I would have ended up with a fucking, RB7 last year.
Yeah, that sucks.
So just to further your point, I just want to share my truth, share my story.
You can't take Fab with you to next year. Spend it.
Man.
I end every year with Fab, and right now I have $34 Fab coming out of week 5, and I have not started anyone that I've spent Fab on.
Yeah,
and I could not be more proud. Although I might have won if I had played some Quentin Cephas when he was still playing. So that's whatever.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. So let's go on to the next one, Daniel. Your last matchup.
All right. So this is the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And first off, I hate myself because I called the Chargers the San Diego Chargers for a long time. I said the St. Louis Rams for several months. But, I have not said the Oakland Raiders once, So what the hell's wrong?
They fit in Vegas.
For sure.
They really do make sense.
Yeah, a lot of shady stuff happens there,
Oh, yeah.
Emails and otherwise.
Yeah. Paper notes only in Las Vegas, and then the city is heated by the fires of those notes burning. So it's a great place. But yeah, so we got a new coach in town, an interim coach. Gruden is out. The visor has been removed. It's no longer child's play. This is real shit right now. So I'm going to butcher his name, even though I made sure I listened to someone else say it. But his name is Rich Bisaccia. And he is the special teams coach. So you got this, Rich.
Former special teams coach.
Yeah, whatever. He's still special.
Yeah, don't you fucking disrespect Rich Bisaccia.
He's still special to this team. Come on now. But I'm expecting to see kind of more of the same. Obviously, as you mentioned earlier, they've got a mode that they're in. And I don't think that it's going to really get derailed too much. I kind of do think Josh Jacobs gets a better look from this because you have less the gears were turning a little too fast and the clutch was a little stuck in the old Gruden mind. So I think he goes to the moon, right? I mean, I'm asking for a friend, obviously, but
waiting for the answer for a friend.
Besides special teams, Rich has also had the assistant coach title a few times, and earlier in his career, he was a running back coach as well. So maybe it will help with the running back situation. He had 2 years with Nerve Turner. I know that gets you Rocky Rock over there.
Sorry, not to interrupt. The way you said that, it sounded like you were about to say he had 2 years with nerve damage.
Nerve.
It's like, where is this going?
Norv.
Like, oh God, poor guy.
Norv Turner.
Norv Turner.
Oh
Sorry.
shit!
Anyway.
No, you're good. I'm with you. So, anyway, he also had 4 years with Jason Garrett, right? So if you guys, I don't know if that means anything to you, but you can kind of paint a little bit of a picture. But I think what's going on with this team is going through the air for the most part. They're fourth in air yards, or passing yards, and 29th in the ground game. So maybe it bounces out a little bit, but don't fix it if it ain't broken. But now I move on to a serious topic. Alex Leatherwood had 2 holding penalties last week. One was declined and one was offset, but we know they happened, Alex.
They happened, though.
So you need to know that the internet is still tracking you. But he moved to right guard, and it sounds like they're going to keep him there. Might be a better fit. So he was obviously struggling out there at the tackle position, so we'll see what's up. They're playing a Denver defense that is pretty badass, so we'll see what's going on. Third fewest yards given up. We all know the Denver defense is kind of a thing, so it's going to be a tough week for the Raiders. We'll see what they can do, but I think if they can connect on big plays, Ruggs didn't really connect on the big plays last week. I blame Ruggs, not Carr, but But I think if they can connect on some of those big plays, Edwards and Ruggs down the field, that they could probably beat anybody. I mean, they did start off 3-0, and it's kind of been a rebalance. But, their defense is doing surprisingly well for the Raiders. It's the 10th least yards allowed, but most of that is in stopping the passing game, and I don't really think that's going to help them out this week because you got the 1-2 punch. Gordon's got a little bit of injury, so it could be a really good week for Javonte Williams, which is another, friend of the pod. He doesn't know he's our friend, but we know he's our friend, so.
We watch from afar.
Oh, yeah. We've been watching. But
I watch up close. But.
Yeah, for sure. I get a mile high when I want to see that Javonte.
Jesus.
So I'm already in my head picturing them drafting Sam Howell next year, just like make the North Carolina connection come through. But
pull Urban.
Yeah. Yep, grind that ass. Anyway, Sutton's balling out, man. He's getting targets like crazy. It's been pretty impressive. I'm really impressed with what I've seen out of Tim Patrick. I think he's stepping up in a big way. I think that's a guy, if you can go get Tim Patrick, I would. Yeah. He's doing good shit. What do you think, though, about Noah Fant? You think he's due for a bounce back? I think he's kind of wavering. No pun intended.
Yeah, I don't know. He does. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world, and you would think with Judy being out and Teddy Two Gloves would want to target him. Mm-hmm. But it's just, it's not really working right now. I know he's been dealing with kind of injuries a little bit too. So I don't know. We'll see. To be honest, my Noah Fant radar went away when I finally trade him.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm like a FOMO kind of guy, so I didn't know if you kept an ear to the ground on that. But yeah,
normally I think I do, but I liked Fant so much, and trading him was one of my least favorite things I've done in our Dynasty League. And so I almost didn't want to know, like the ignorance is bliss kind of thing. So I actually don't even know how he did last week, to be honest with you.
He had 3 catches for 20 yards.
Yeah, see. Okay.
But, I mean, that was against Pittsburgh. I mean, this team has faced, Baltimore, Pittsburgh,
Some really good Ds.
Yeah, so they're looking for a bit of a touch bounce.
I mean, he's going to be their guy, but even he's been pretty inconsistent so far in the NFL anyway.
Absolutely,
he's always had his 5s and then his 17s and then a 6 and then a 20. Like that's just kind of, that may just be who he is.
It's also the nature of the tight end position,
Yeah, for sure. If you're not Kittle or Travis Kelce or Darren Waller, and even Waller's been doing that a little this year.
Yeah, even Kittle.
Yeah.
Not Kelce then.
Well,
last week.
Last week he did.
Motherfucker.
I'm sorry. I don't know what
I'm just tired of these guys.
I'm tired of these goddamn snakes
and I start them, and they don't do good. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah, that'll happen, though.
A little betting thing, but this is interesting.
I love how into betting you are, by the way, but go ahead.
By the way, if you have a gambling problem, 1-800 Gamblers Anonymous. Go ahead, Christian.
Scramblers
I will
Anonymous.
always bet on a team that has a coach that just got fired.
Oh yeah, like
it seems to always happen. Now, that being said, I have never seen a coach resign before, so that may throw the betting gods off whack. But almost every single time a coach gets fired, it seems like that team ends up winning a game the next week, and I would probably throw money on the Raiders in this game because of that reason.
Yeah.
I know that's based
seems
on
like a pride thing,
other than
especially you want to rally around your dude.
Yeah, no fantasy advice from me for this game outside of what you've already said. I mean, I'm with you. I think John Gruden's always had these like weird blocks about certain players, it seems like, and for some reason Josh Jacobs got on his shit list. And so maybe Richie Rich
Read the emails. Read the emails. You know what he had a problem with.
I still can't, like, that was, I might have said this last week, but Gruden was, like, actively miffed that Josh Jacobs wasn't Rookie of the Year over Kyler Murray. I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck? So, how did, I don't, and then he's
and then he's just like,
but Peyton Barber, though.
Yeah, Peyton Barber's sick as hell.
But Peyton's healthy, so what up?
I'm with you on Josh Jacobs breakout game for this season. Cortland, like you said, Cortland Sutton's been balling out. And I like that all the receivers for Denver are doing well because when Jerry Jeudy comes back, Teddy's going to have more options. And I think that'll help Jeudy out because for a while last year, it seemed like he was the only guy. And I think having Patrick show out and Sutton back and actually playing super well could help Jeudy when he comes back, which is just right around the corner.
Hell yeah, man. Well,
nice.
Let's roll this over to your last matchup there, Christian.
Oh, shit. I forgot I had another one. All right. So we've got the Browns and the Cardinals, the only undefeated team left until the end of this week.
Ooh.
But no Cliff Kingsbury in this game. No Nick Chubb in this game, which makes my desire to watch it significantly lower without Nick Chubb. But it still should be a really, really good game. The Cardinals are 29th against the rush in terms of yardage, and it looks like Kareem Hunt is going to play, and we all know what Kareem Hunt can do. So you would think that the Browns are still going to try and run the ball. I mean, that's just who they are. And that being said about the Cardinals and their allowance in rushing yardage, that was a weird sentence I came up with just now.
Here's your allowance.
The Cardinals are still they're giving up the 7th fewest points to running backs. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. They're not allowing a lot of scores. They're allowing a lot of yardage. But I think the Browns are getting the Cardinals at a really good time, which is why I think they're going to hand them their first L of the season. The Cardinals are not going to have Jordan Hicks, Rodney Hudson, Chandler Jones, or Cliff Kingsbury this week.
Oh.
And that's huge. Flip that, though. The Browns don't have Nick Chubb, which is huge, and I know we already talked about that. But the Browns are also allowing the 5th most points to fantasy quarterbacks. A lot of that was thanks to Justin Herbert last week. But if you don't think Kyler Murray is going to go off a little bit as far as rushing, I mean, Justin Herbert looked good rushing the ball last week. And as much as I love that man, he's not a runner. So I look for Kyler Murray to have a big game. I look for Kareem Hunt to have a big game. But I do think the Browns pull this one out. I know we're not a just football podcast, so I should have more fantasy advice. But that's where I'm at with this game.
Nah, man. Talk about what you care about.
Well,
I think that the Chiefs are going to win, the Cowboys are going to win, and the Raiders are going to win in my matchups. So straight up.
I think a lot of it. What was the latest on Jarvis Landry? Because I think that changes so much of the fantasy landscape as far as David Njoku.
How many? Is this just heartbreak after heartbreak for you, man?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, Jarvis Landry kind of does that slot, middle of the field role a lot, and I feel like that's kind of where that tight end position came in. So, I don't know. I guess I didn't really.
If Jarvis is back, that could help out Odell as well, and they may end up needing to throw the ball because the Cardinals' rush defense has been not good at stopping yards, like I said, but stopping them from scoring. So they may need to use more passing in the red zone.
Yeah.
Looks like Jarvis has a chance to return this Sunday.
Well, I guess we'll see.
That would be huge.
That would be big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look out for Demetric
Felton. And with Rashad Higgins,
when he hits that circle button.
Oh,
yeah.
I agree with that, and I need to look up this stat because I forgot to write it down. Sorry, everyone. I've been pretty busy all week. But there's a reason I picked up Dearness Johnson, and I just want to point out Demetric Felton Oh man, I lost it. We can cut all this out.
No, it's cool, man. I just need Dimitri to do well because I pulled like 3 Dimitri Felton autos, so I'd love to flip those.
Yeah.
Let's go.
How's Marvin Wilson doing?
Who? I haven't seen him since Florida State.
I know it, right? He's in Cleveland, so it's not off topic.
Whatever. It was something about the snap share that he's been getting has mostly been gadget special roles, and they haven't really used him as a traditional running back at all this season. And so I could see, but this was if Hunt and Chubb were out, which it was looking like could happen at the beginning of the week. I think Johnson would have been the bell cow and Felton still would have stayed in his role. Was my point, is that I think Felton has a role in this offense, and I don't think they want to move him out of that. So, but with Hunt there, it's not going to matter. Right. So well, I don't even know why I brought it up.
A while ago, speaking of fab, that's Dearness Johnson, someone that I spent a good $25, $26 on to just find out that he would do really well. And then he'd be like, all right, kid, ride the pine. Big boys are back, you know?
Yeah, you don't need 3 serviceable running backs unless you're Green Bay.
Hey, Highland Hill, baby.
To the moon, baby. Let's go. All right. Well, y'all got anything left? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up on our matchups.
Yeah.
Let's get it, baby. The new Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills versus the Tennessee Titans, man. And we got the big news of the return of A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, who were fully participating at practice finally.
Who he, though?
I would say it's a good thing that he's back because this Buffalo defense is not to be messed with. They are pretty good. Second, I guess, how would you say that? They're number 2 in the passing game, so they're 29th.
Second fewest.
Hey, thanks. So second fewest against the pass and 30 against the run. They haven't played like super great running backs. You know, Najee, granted it was his first game, and they kind of came out sloppy. Then they played Myles Gaskin, who, he plays with Tutu Atwell in the schoolyard. Antonio Gibson, I mean, he had that slow start. Then, of course, the Texans with David Johnson. And then CEH, of course, who ended up getting hurt that game. So I think as far as the Titans go, this will be kind of that first, well, for the Buffalo Bills defense, will be like that first true test against, a powerhouse of Derrick Henry. And we'll see, man, because the Bills are averaging 35.8 points a game. So I don't think the Titans are going to have the luxury of leaning on Henry. So thank gosh for them that A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are back. And I think we could expect good games from both of those guys because they have to. Out of like just pure necessity, Tannehill is going to have to throw the ball because this Titans defense isn't the best. And I think you can look for Josh Allen to just clean up here just because he's been playing lights out. Yeah, I think you look for Dawson Knox to keep it going. And I know Diggs is the leading receiver on this team, but I'm going to make a claim, besides in our league, that Diggs could potentially be like buy low, and I'm going to put that in quotation marks because you're still going to have to like pay for him. Mm-hmm. But I could see it, me as a Diggs manager, man, I'm a little frustrated because he's not getting those touchdowns. So you're expecting the elite numbers. And though it's coming, I think if you can buy Diggs now, I think you should do it because he is leading the NFL in red zone targets right now.
I'll give you 2022 first for him.
Well, I might have. Well, talk to me if I lose this week. But no, I mean, Dawson Knox has the 5 touchdowns. Emmanuel Sanders has the 4, but this is such an explosive offense. They don't really have to deal with the red zone often. But once they have to start grinding teams and it gets later where, teams really have to play to earn their playoff spots and stuff, once it starts hitting the grind, I think you can anticipate Diggs doing Diggs things that we saw at the end of last year. So I don't think it would be a bad thing to reach out to the Diggs manager and be like, hey, man, I know you're a little frustrated. Maybe I can give you a little something in a pick or something, sell someone high. The
same goes for if you know the Calvin Ridley manager.
Yeah. Looking at you, buddy. But this defense is going to be good. I think the Bills are going to just keep doing Bills things, but we'll see. I think you can definitely plug in AJ Brown and Julio Jones, but you were already doing that, and I think they're going to do things because they're going to have to. So I'll kick it over to you guys. What do y'all think about this matchup?
Wait. So who'd you say was coming back for the Titans?
Well, AJ Brown and
it doesn't matter who's coming back for the Titans.
That's none of your fucking business.
Julio who? AJ what? Bills by 20. Bills by 20 at least. They're kicking the shit out of the Titans.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't know, man. The Titans have ran the most offensive plays in the league, and I don't think that they are going to just stop Derrick Henry because we need to compete with this Buffalo team. Nah, they got to keep it on the ground. They got to keep the clock in their favor. And I think because of that, you're going to see Derrick Henry, a whole lot of Derrick Henry.
Okay.
And you see some third down, they need to get first downs to win this game, not touchdowns. Because if they get in a shootout, they lose. But if they grind that defense, which apparently has 10 fucking Pro Bowl linemen on it, but if they can grind that defense down a little bit and get the offense cold on the sideline, I think they have a chance.
I think that's the game script. I don't think it's gonna.
I don't think. I'm not betting against the Buffalo Bills.
I agree with you. I didn't even think about that. That's good. That's a good point.
Well, for sure. But I mean, if we want to compare the Bills as the new Chiefs, that's what they tried to do to the Chiefs, and that kept burning them out the last few years. It's only recently started working, and the Titans' defense is worse than average. They're not terrible, but they're not good, and the Bills are just going to walk all over them. You can give them 30 seconds with the ball, they're going to score.
Yeah,
I don't know. You're right, though. I agree with that's what I would do if I was the Titans coach. I 100%. You think you run Derrick Henry, try and have 16-yard or 16-play, 8-minute drives. That end with a Derrick Henry touchdown.
Yeah, give them one of those New England first quarters where they only have the ball for a 3 and out or whatever, and then never mind. But okay, cool.
I like what you said. So we're sitting here at an hour 12. So we got these last 4 games. So I guess we don't spend too much time, but obviously
real quick. I know we already talked about the Bills. This was their first running back they're playing, but they're still 3rd in rushing yards allowed defensively. So I think they can do it. I think they can do it. Anyway, you're right.
Oh, no, I agree.
Let's go.
That reminds me they're going to slow down the Buffalo Bills offense because they're going to run the ball with who on the Bills?
Hey, it could be one of anybody, really.
I swear to God, Singletary has one good game this year. I want to slit my wrist.
He got outplayed by Zach Moss last week.
Yeah, true. All right, well, let's do the remaining games. I'm just going to say the names and let you guys kind of just talk about what do you think the fantasy implications. So we'll start with the Dolphins, Jaguars, Tua returning. So there could be some implications there, but I'm thinking we can talk Dan Arnold, Gaskins, Waddle, and then whoever else you guys are thinking of. But I'm going to kick it over to you guys.
Well, I think it's huge with Tua coming back to remember that in the first 2 games, Mike Gesicki had 9 targets, not even a catch in the first game. And then in the very next game, the next 3 games, he's had 12 targets, 6 targets, and 7 targets. So I'm worried as a Gesicki owner in a couple leagues that Tua just hates him for some reason.
Probably for good reasons. No, I'm with you. I think, you're going to be wanting to sell some dudes high here, including Myles Gaskin. He got 12 targets last week. No, he got 10 targets, which effectively doubled his season total so far of 12. So it's not a consistent thing. The Finns are dead last in rushing. Malcolm Brown's not getting any work. It's just kind of a little stagnant. So if you can get rid of Gaskin for a profit off of that big week where he had like 35 rushing yards and then a ton of catches, I would definitely do that. I do think that Preston Williams heating up. Devontae Parker's going to miss this game. And obviously Will Fuller is not playing football anymore for fun. Yeah, so that's my take on the thems. And then obviously, I think James Robinson's just about the only reliable piece of the Jaguars offense, period.
Yeah, I agree. And do you guys think is this the game that the Jags get to win? I have that feeling that this is the one they snake away. Because I don't think this team's bad enough to go winless, and this seems like a perfect chance for them to get a win.
That seems about right. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. They're going to grind it out like Urban Meyer on a college girl, But dude,
it's Jacksonville, right? In Columbus, but.
Oh right, my bad. I thought the Dan Arnold was interesting. He ended up leading the team in targets, and this is just game 2. He's only been with the team like 2 weeks. I thought that was just an interesting thing to note because we were excited about Jacksonville Jaguars tight ends at the beginning of the year.
James O'Shaughnessy had to get injured.
I think that's a guy to look out for. I picked him up in a couple of leagues because the old fucking Big Bob Tanyan really let me down fantasy-wise. But
turned out it as a Wilton Tunyon instead of a Bloomin' Tunyon.
Yeah, I'd say if you need a little help on the tight end side, it looks like he's going to get those targets, especially with Shark gone, and we'll see. But moving on to the next matchup, we'll talk the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. I'm just going to kick it on over. I think Dan has a buy high candidate here or a buy low candidate.
Yeah, I do. I think that if you can get Paris Campbell for like a third or something, you got to smash that. So no, I didn't.
He did have his first good game of the year right after I did that. You know what I'm pissed about? I forgot that I even did that, but we need to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
I did that because I saw Zach Pascal on the waiver wire, and he's had a pretty good thing, and I wanted to pick him up before the Monday night game, so I sent that and then forgot to check if you accepted it. So then I couldn't pick up Zach Pascal for free. I had to put waiver shit in on him. I didn't want to drop anybody, and so I knew you liked Paris Campbell, so I was like, oh, let me get a third, because I knew you wouldn't do a second, or maybe you would. Maybe I fucked up.
A third was iffy, honestly. But
yeah, so I sent it for a third so that I could free up a roster spot to pick up Zach Pascal, because my injury list is really bad for this week in that league. But anyway, I forgot we hadn't talked about that.
Yeah,
Thanks, we always do business.
Absolutely. I had turned off my sleeper notifications because stuff gets weird on Sundays after a couple of beers, and I feel like I look at my phone too much when I'm trying to watch football anyway. So I just was like, whatever sleeper notifications are coming through, anyway. So I didn't see that until I opened up the app, kind of just checking out, I think I was most curious to see how, if I was going to pull my 35-point Jonathan Taylor victory out, and then I was like, oh, I have a pending transaction, and I was like, nice. So I smashed that after he got like a first down 18-yard catch or something.
Yeah.
And then I lose that game by 0.8 points. So literally, if the Colts had won the coin toss, I would have won. But Jonathan Taylor got 0 touches in overtime.
Oh.
And now my grandma loves Lamar Jackson. So what the fuck ever did. But I thought I don't really have much to say on Indianapolis. But except for Naheem Hines, a little cold. That's whatever.
And Jonathan Taylor's heating up. He started out slow like he did last year, and this is the guy we want. Maybe that might be something that you have to deal with for him every year, maybe, but it's worth it when he has games like he just did.
For sure.
He went off.
I think Carson's getting a little more comfortable. He had that bad fumble, which kind of sucked, but
yeah,
he's getting more comfortable. I think he's got potential for growth.
Well, fucking up both his ankles will do that to you when both your ankles are hurt.
I mean, his Frankles.
He's fucked up.
His Frankles.
We're gonna coin that the Frankles.
Frankles.
But yeah, I'm assuming not much to talk about on the Texans.
Actually, I was really happy to see Chris Connolly finally have a good game.
Yeah.
He played for
Davis
the Chiefs
Mills
forever. Davis Mills looked great. He was the second highest quarterback rating on the week. Yeah. That's crazy. I'm serious, man. I don't know who the hell Chris Moore is, but obviously a forgotten Ravens wide receiver. Never heard of that, Darren Waller or any of those guys. So that could be great.
Yeah,
it's like the replacements, man. I'm telling you. But we don't have to talk about them too much.
Is the Ravens receiving core like the Adam Gase effect? Maybe
it's like there's Cincinnati's like that too, and Pittsburgh's had some guys. Well, Pittsburgh's the opposite. You usually leave Pittsburgh and then suck.
Yeah,
but
except Antonio Brown, that fucking dick.
There's tons of Bengals wide receivers that leave and have good careers afterward, though.
All right, well,
Did he?
We got
Marvin Jones Jr.
So we got two more matchups here. So Seattle at the Steelers. Already mentioning that old Lionheart Russ Wilson is on the IR. Will not be playing. Chris Carson is out. I'll just throw in my 2 cents right here. DJ Dallas time, please. It won't happen, but I just wanted to put that into the world. Hopefully he hears me. Pete Carroll, let's go. Kick it over to you guys for the Seahawks at the Steelers.
I think Gerald Everett.
Najee Harris time.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, Najee's going to be crushing this one for sure. I do think Gerald Everett gets some shit going. Geno Smith. Like, you're going to be looking for something. Although Geno looked good. And
he did. But, I mean, the Steelers' defense is legit. Whatever you want to say about the Steelers is fine. But their defense is sick. And Geno has already proven over the years he's not a starting quarterback in this league. So putting a non-starting quarterback up against the Pittsburgh defense is never going to work out well for you.
True that. So then I guess the only other thing to say is maybe James Washington finally gets that Biletnikoff Award winning role that he's been due for 4 years now. And Anthony Miller's been signed to the Pittsburgh practice squad. So for my hashtag Memphis truthers out there.
Anthony Miller.
That turd that won't flush, man.
Yeah, dude. We were all high on him.
I was very high on him, for sure. I still have him on a roster, guaranteed.
Well, damn, man. Well, yeah, that should be something to look out for there. Daniel knows I've been the James Washington truther for about 4 years now, so it'd be really nice to. Actually, no, I'd prefer it if he just continued to suck and then got dropped, and then the Vikings picked him up. That'd be really nice. Yeah. Okay, moving on. I just love saying that shit because you always push your glasses up. You're like, okay. The last matchup before we wrap up here: Cincinnati at Detroit. Quintus Cephas is on the IR, broken shoulder, I believe, right? Or something, shoulder or collarbone, something like that.
Clavicle. So
it looks like he's going to be done at least for a good amount of time. So I'm going to kick it over to you guys. And what do we think will happen in this matchup?
I bet a dude named P. Ryan has the best game of his life and then gets COVID listed. And it's not LaMichael. Sorry. Samaje had a good game last week, and now he's on the COVID list. And Uzama looking like waiver wire dust, man. Like you might as well pour that fab out for your homies. He had a pretty rough week, but I don't know, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals are just gonna fuck up the Lions regardless. The Lions have the worst coverage grade on PFF of any team in the league, with a coverage grade of 29.4.
Wait, are the Bengals receivers good? Are they good?
Let me get that lineup
They're
straight.
real good. They're real good. And you would think, to be fair, though, the Lions do have a decent pass rush, surprisingly. It's not great, but it's not as bad as you would think. But overall, the Lions are ranked as the second worst defense in the entire league.
Nice.
And Joey Burrow and the Bengals, I think, are going to be pissed after that heartbreaking loss where they should have won the game twice and couldn't pull it off. And they're going to take advantage of the second worst defense in the league. By the way, I just realized who was dead last, and it's the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's rough.
Oh, yeah.
But,
hey, man,
but yeah, so the Lions are going to get taken.
Comeback.
That was an unnecessary shot. I'm sorry.
It's
but
okay.
The Lions are just going to get thrown all over at the start, and then when the Bengals need to walk away with the game, they're going to run all over them too, and just call it now.
Cool. What would first off, we got to talk about TJ Hawkinson just coming out double barrel blasting for the first 2 weeks, and now he's putting up pretty much dog shit. So this might be a good week for him, right?
It could be. Yeah, it should be. But I mean, I think teams have figured out that the Lions have a really hard time moving the ball without TJ Hawkinson, and Jamal Williams might not play this week because he's still hurt.
Correct.
And so I think they're kind of just allowing teams to allowing the Lions to try and beat them without TJ. They're basically we're going to take away TJ Hawkinson. He's your best weapon by several miles, and beat us with Quentin Cephas and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brashard Perriman and whoever else the fuck you want to roll out there. And if you do, then good on you kind of attitude, it seems like.
Yeah, it's worked in Swift's favor, it looked like.
Yeah. Swift's still been playing well.
Don't forget, Golf came out and said he wants more Amon-Ra. So
back-to-back games with 8 targets.
I think it's funny because it's like, what are your options? Like, I think we all figured that's what you kind of need, but I think this definitely.
Well, Jared Goff always gets what he wants. That's why he's in LA still.
That's right.
Shit. Well, awesome, man. I think that kind of wraps it all up, boys. Do we have any last thoughts on the week 6 or anything? I guess we didn't really talk about the Tampa game, but I think it kind of went as expected.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yep.
I didn't even watch it, so I wouldn't have much insight for you, to be honest.
Well, you would have
Zach
just been
Ertz got
pissed.
traded to the Cardinals. So.
Oh yeah. That did happen.
For sure.
About
Poor
time,
Max
man.
Williams.
Dude, I know, man.
That
was a waste of $6 fab dollars. Throw that down next to the Usama.
Yeah.
Dollars. But I think that kind of pretty much wraps it up. So, all right, boys. Until next week, follow, like, subscribe. Hopefully you made it this far and enjoyed the sluts.
Hey, listen longer. No, I don't know what to say. All right, thanks for listening.
Pete.